Hi everyone, my name is Jitendra. Today we are learning abstract classes and interfaces. This is a continuation part of Core Java series where we are learning the Core Java concept. We are deep diving into the concepts and the interview questions we are learning. Okay, so let's get started. So first thing first, let's first understand the definition. What is abstract and what is interface? So abstract classes is used with classes. So abstract classes, what are abstract classes and interfaces? Will be reading the definition first. So let's start with abstract. So what do you mean by abstract? Abstract is a name given to abstract classes where we can write the incomplete and complete method both in abstract classes, and it is used to uh, write some common functionalities or to provide the base class for the subclasses. So let me write down the definition. Let's just increase the font 20. What the heck? Okay, now, okay. So what is abstract? Abstract classes. So abstract classes are the classes which can be created by the help of it is created with abstract keyword. It's a kind of class. Abstract keyword, when we write abstract class, the name of the class we give, that is called abstract class, abstract keyword. And why do we use it? To provide the base class, base for subclass, and to have some common functionalities. So how, what do you mean by common functionality and base classes? So for example, you may have, if you are a working professional or if you are not, let me give you some little insight here. So when we are commercially doing something, there are certain things which are common, which we need everywhere, and it can be a common functionality. For example, we are converting. There is a uh, unit conversion, or maybe the currency conversion is there. So this is a common base we need for every class. So we use abstract classes in that case, and we have that implemented, extended in our class. So it will serve like a base class for the subclass, and we will have that method already implemented. We can give the half implementation, and the complete method we can also have here. So we'll see the example. Let's just first understand this. So first thing first, it can be created with the abstract keyword. It provides the base for the subclass and to have common functionalities. Okay, common functionalities. Now it can have abstract methods. You know what are abstract methods? Abstract methods are incomplete methods without body. Incomplete methods. Incomplete methods without body. We'll see about that. We'll see one example. And concrete method. Concrete means complete method. Concrete with body. Complete methods. Okay. And we can have constructors and field inside this also. Constructors and field also. Okay. So this is our abstract classes. And in abstract classes, we use them in case of single inheritance. Single inheritance, what do you mean by single inheritance? We will not be using it in case of multiple inheritance. So this is the major difference between interface and abstract class. So this is abstract class. Let me explain you a bit about the, okay, let's do this. Okay, I'll explain you a bit about this also. interface. What are interfaces? Interfaces, how do we write interface? We write interface, then I will give the interface name, and it has what? Abstract methods. But after Java 8 we also see Java 8 we also see that with default keyword we can write the complete method also. Okay, and in it there is one more term also, SAM. We call it single abstract method. Why do we call it this? Because, like, what's the definition of it? Whenever we have only one abstract method, then we say it is SAM, single abstract method. And it is also called, in this situation, in this condition, exactly in this condition, when we have exactly one abstract method, this is also defined or termed as functional interface. What are functional interfaces? When they have only one abstract or incomplete. We'll make the use of this. Let's first go to the Eclipse ID and let's see the example. Okay, let's go here and let me write one class. I'll write the abstract class. Okay, so I'll write abstract class and I'll give the class name vehicle. Okay, and I'll change the package here. I'll give abstract and interfaces. Give this abstract classes. Okay, so you see I have abstract keyword, then class keyword, then vehicle. So whenever we write abstract before class, then it is considered as abstract class. Okay, now let's write some fields. I am writing protected. Protected is access specifier. Let's see this. Protected string brand, protected int year. So we have taken two variables. And what are these? These are fields. Okay, now let's move on to next part. Constructor, as I said, constructor can have, sorry, abstract class can have constructor. So I'm writing the constructor for this. Okay, let's remove this, and abstract classes can have constructors. Okay, now next part, method I'm writing public abstract I'm writing abstract method abstract double fuel efficiency. Okay, fuel efficiency, I have given the name of the method, and this is incomplete method, so we will not give the body, so this is abstract method. And I'll give one more method, public abstract string and get type. This is also incomplete. Okay, what happened here? Abstract. Okay, so these are two methods which will be overridden. Let me explain you. Let me write that note also. Abstract methods must be overridden. You'll have to override. Now I'll write one complete method also here. Public void print info, and for complete method we'll have the body, and in body what I will do, I will write system.out.println, and then I'll call the get type here, get type and let's write this I'll brand. I will have what type of brand we have, and then I will have this, and I will do this thing now here, brand plus here, and then I'll close the braces. Okay, now there's one more thing we have, fuel efficiency we also have, so we'll call the fuel efficiency efficiency. Okay, our efficiency is what? We'll have to call the method fuel efficiency method. Okay, and let's write one more thing here. It would be kilometer per liter. Where is this brand? Why it is giving error? Because we did have not. Okay, right now what we are doing here, we will create one more class. We have to implement it, right? So we will create one more class, and I'm creating it as electric car. Okay, now I have to implement that abstract implements what? No, we cannot implement the class. So here you have to remember, when class to class is there, class with class, or we say class to class, or interface to interface, right? When these are same and it is class to class, then we will have to use extend. If different means, if we are implementing, if we are doing inheritance between class to interface, or interface to class, or interface face to class. Okay, in that case we will use implements for inheritance. Implements for inheritance. Got it? Inheritance. Okay, let's comment this. So here electric class, we have electric class and vehicle class, so both are class, so we'll have to extend it. Extends vehicle. Okay, now it will ask to implement. We have added the constructor, and let's give one more parameter here, because it is electric car. So private and battery capacity. Okay, now add this parameter here also, and this dot battery capacity equals to battery capacity. Okay, this we have created. Now why it is giving error? Add unimplemented method. Unimplemented method we have fuel efficiency and this one. So let's, in fuel efficiency, what we can do, we can return the fuel efficiency. So what would be the fuel efficiency? Let me say I'll return what is the battery capacity. Whatever is the battery capacity, we will multiply it by 6.5, just for example. We're doing it randomly, it may not be correct. It is the range, it is the formula to find the range. Okay, so that we have in fuel efficiency. Now what is the type we can return with anything. Let's say it's an electric car. Electric car. Okay, now we have the implementation. Let it these comments to be put at the top. Yeah. Okay, now what we can do, we can see that what we have done here, we have two abstract methods here, one this and this. Oh, sorry, these are the variables. These are two abstract method, one concrete method we have. So what we can do, print info. Let's see if we can create the object of this abstract class. So this is what, electric car. So let me try to do this first. New vehicle, new vehicle. So I'm trying to create the object for abstract class, but abstract class object we cannot create, right? So that is why it is giving us error. So what we'll do, we'll not do this. We'll create the object of this new electric car. And what is this, what value we can give here, and we have brand name, so we will give brand name Oshimaru, and year we will give 2015, and capacity I can give, let's say 15. Okay, now let's call the method electric car dot fuel efficiency. Okay, so so fuel efficiency. So let me print it. So we have the fuel efficiency 97.5. So this is how it works. We have learned about the abstract class. How can we create abstract class with the abstract keyword? What we can have in abstract class, we can have the fields, we can have the constructor, we can have the methods, complete methods, we can have the we can have incomplete method, abstract method, and we can have complete method also. And this will serve as the base class of Electrica, where we have the common functionality like print info. We can have as a common functionality, we can use it. And next thing, electric car will have the implementation of these two methods, and we can use these two methods to use as far as need. Okay, so this is it. And we have also tried to create the object of this vehicle. We cannot create the object of vehicle class because it is abstract class. We cannot create that. So these are the points. Okay, now let's move on to the next part, which is the interface. So let's create interface also. Interface. So I'll give the name interface, let's say drawable, Drawable. Okay, drawable. And in this, let me give some variables, and default color equal to, let's say 0x0000. This is the default color. I have done this here. Okay, and let's write some methods. Void draw, incomplete method, void resize, and I will give double factor. Okay, and what I have told you, that after Java 8 we can also create complete methods, concrete methods also in interfaces. So that will also see here, static default create default. We have given default as this name, and let's return no default, we are not returning anything. Okay, so this is not, this is, so let's change the name to this print description. We can do description or print anything we can do, and I'll give here static. Instead of static, I'll write void default void, and nothing will be returned because it is a no return type void, and I'll print it here the description. So I'll write this is interface. Okay, now let's go ahead and let's create this default method, and we can also write the static method also after Java 8. So static drawable, what we are returning, we are returning the interface drawable and create drawable. Okay, so this is our static method, static complete method, and I will return what I will return. I'll return new. What can I say? Let's say there is any shape we have, and the shape is circle. So I'll write circle here. Okay, so circle is 1.0. We have to create the class for this. For now, let's comment this and we'll create first that class, then we'll use this. Okay, now let's move on to the next part. I'll create one more interface, which is resizable interface. Interface resizable. Okay, and I'll write two incomplete method here, void resize. What I'll resize double factor. Double factor. Okay, now next method, double dot double get size. Okay, these two are incomplete methods here, and we have to implement this. So let's create a class now. We'll see the multiple inheritance also here, and I've created a class square. Okay, and this is square will implement. So single inheritance can be done in classes, but in interfaces, with the help of interfaces, we can do multiple inheritance. So we have class to interface we are doing, so we'll use the implement keyword, and we'll implement here the drawable and resizable. Okay, so this is multiple inheritance. Now we have implemented the incomplete method we all have here. Okay, now let's, because this is a square, let's create one more variable here, because in square we have the side private int side, or let's say double we will take, because everywhere we have taken double. So this is the variable, and let's create private public constructor we are creating for this one single argument constructor. I'm creating square, and let's say this dot size equal to size. Got it? Okay, now we have overridden draw method, get size method, and double factor method. So what we will be doing here, we'll be returning something here. So in size, what I will return, I'll return the side, side d, but I have written side here. This is size. So this is side, square side of square. So I have written the side. The size is side. Okay. Now resize. For resizing, what I will be doing, I'll be multiplying the side into factors. So this is side equal to side into factor. So this is just an implementation. There is nothing, but what I wanted to explain you is the interface. We have two interfaces. In two interfaces, we have one complete method, two incomplete methods, and in this two incomplete method, we have implemented. We have all the methods here, right? So all those methods were not implemented in the interfaces. Now we are giving the implementation here, and we can give anything we want as per the process. So about interfaces learning, interface allows multiple inheritance, and we can have complete methods also, static methods also. That's the learning. Okay, now in drawing, what I am doing, I'll write the drawing is complete. Drawing is complete. So this was that. So plus side I can write. So this is interface, and let me give one more example of interface where we will see the SAM class, and let's give you my interface here, or let's just give uh, talk dog. I have a selected class here, so interface, and I'll do talk. Okay, now let's do this. Public string box. I have created a method box. This is incomplete method. So let me write. There is exactly one incomplete method here. So that is why it will be called functional interface. So I'm writing the annotation to make sure it checks for functional interface. This functional interface annotation makes sure that there is exactly one incomplete method here. So let's do one more thing. Place public void place, but inside this I am writing the and dog is playing. After Java 8, what we can do, we can write the complete methods using default. So the condition for the functional interface is that there should be exactly one incomplete method, but we can have complete methods. So that's not an issue. So it is still a functional interface. Okay, so that's about functional interfaces, and abstract classes. Now let's see the differences between both. Let me increase the size. Okay. Now we are checking differences between abstract classes and interfaces. Okay. Okay. Now let's first let's create two boxes here. One for interface, one for abstract class. So here I'm writing abstract classes. So in abstract class, what will happen? Abstract class cannot be, let me give the differences only. In abstract class, we can have any type of fields. We can have, let me write abstract here. Abstract. We can have any type of fields. What do you mean by this? We can have instance, static, or final. But in interfaces, we can only have public, static, and final, and this is by default. In interfaces, every fields are public, static, and final. So interfaces will have fields which are public, static, and final by default. Okay, now next, can we create the constructor of abstract? Yes, we have tried that. We can create the constructor. We can have constructors, but in interfaces we cannot. No constructors. Here we have, in interfaces we have multiple inheritance, and in abstract classes we cannot have multiple inheritance. We have single, no multiple, because classes do not allow multiple inheritance. Now access modifiers we have already have. We can have any type of modifiers here, but here it will be public only, because we have to achieve the abstraction. Abstraction means we have to have abstraction here, where we should have public. By default we should have public variable, so that it can be abstracted, can be used in the subclasses. Okay, now what is the use of this abstract class? It has the shared functionality. It is used for shared implementation base, shared implementations. But why this is used? This is used for capability definition, which means can do part. So we have methods only here. We have methods here. What the implementation is done is implementation is done in child class, subclass we can say. So these are the major differences here. What else we can have? Constructors. Okay. So these are the major differences. Okay, let's make it shorter. Okay, functional interfaces I have already told you. Now what else we have in our plate? I think we can have covered all. So I'll give you some real example also along with that. So you may have heard of service, controller, repository layer. So in those layers we create interfaces for service, we create interfaces for repo. So why do we create them? We create them in order to use the abstraction, where we write only methods, incomplete method we write, and we do the implementation there in subclasses, or we do the auto wiring for those also. Whenever you are going to learn Spring Boot, you will see that a lot. Okay, so that's all in this video. Thank you guys.